Good morning, YouTube! So I'm in Phoenix for the Young Professionals launch party here. Young Professionals is a group inside of Keller Williams that I'm a part of, and I'm meeting all my young professional friends. We're getting a quick meal to go and a drink so we can go back and nap, film, and get ready for the party. Good morning, YouTube! I am in Phoenix, Arizona with my girl from Philly. I'm Juliana.
So I've been a licensed agent for a little over 2 years now. I just joined the team, and my biggest source of leads is from social media.
Yeah! We have some questions that we're going to answer, share different perspectives. I'm on the West Coast selling real estate in Las Vegas.
And I'm in Philadelphia, Bucks County area.
Our first question is, how many hours a week do we work in real estate on our business?
My whole life. So typically I'd say it's about 35 hours, maybe sometimes 40, but it's very give or take. I am very specific with time blocking, so I will lead gen Monday through Friday for 2 hours. So if those 2 hours are done every week, that's like my bare minimum. And then everything else in that, appointments, showings, social media, that's all in addition to my business. So I would say 35 is like a good range.
Well, I would say 25, being realistic. I do my 2 hours a day on Legions, and I feel like I work like 5 hours a week. I got 2 hours a day on Legion, and then I'll either go show or go on appointments, which total 3 hours. But that's not including like drive time or like me going to do social media or something like that. But like avidly on my business, realistically, I'm not gonna lie, like 25 hours, 5 hours a day.
I would say it's hard to track numbers for hours like us because our social media is so organic, but also is business related that it's just like part of us.
Right.
It's just it's been a part of our daily activity, so it doesn't really feel like work hours.
Yeah, I agree. Next question is, how many months did it take us to close on our first real estate deal?
Okay. So for me, I closed my first deal in 4 months of being in the business. And it was 2 deals at the same time. One was a buy and one was a sell. I got the clients in November and I closed them in the beginning of December.
I think, let me see. I think mine was 4 months, if not like 4.5. Yeah. So I feel like 4 months, I don't know. The first month, I feel like I did nothing but did so much education at the same time. But the first month, I didn't like have clients, so I was just plugging into a bunch of classes and like telling people.
It's different for everyone.
Yeah.
So I know agents that are mega agents now, and they didn't do a deal in their first year.
Yeah.
So like some people, it happens right away. Sometimes it takes time, but the first year is just very like experience, trying everything. And if you don't close something in your first year, I wouldn't give up. You know.
Agreed. Please tell me about your worst experience you've had showing.
Wow. Okay. Worst experience showing a house. The listing agent said there was a lockbox. There was not a lockbox, but I did see a previous listing showing leave, so I knew that there was access. We went to the back door. The back door was open, so I thought, okay, maybe they have this set up this way. We start to show the house. There's no car in the driveway, and yet we show the basement and the main floor. We get to the upstairs. The homeowner is sitting in the master bedroom, smoking a cigarette in a recliner, just waiting for us. And luckily, I didn't have my taser or anything on me, but he scared me so bad. And it was just a very weird experience for me and my client. I don't know why the man would be sitting up there, like, waiting for us to get up there. So that was probably the worst showing I've ever done because it was just very awkward.
Yeah.
But there's probably a point on that too that I was not thinking of right now.
It was so eerie that I did not walk with my buyers through the property. I said, I'm staying by the door. I literally did this. I was like, hey, I'm like very uncomfortable. Like, I'm going to sit right here by the door. You guys are welcome to walk through it. Because the door was painted like brown or black, and it was filthy inside. And it was like low dim, like low, very, very low light. And I literally felt like somebody was going to pop out on us because it was so eerie. And it was like an older, you can tell it was like an older like man or woman's house, and there was like china and like it was just like so eerie. And even my buyer even told her kids to wait with me. Like the kids were literally waiting with me. Yeah. The mom was like kids just stay with her. Like
I've definitely been in situations where the homes feel like they're, or you can see signs of squatters where they'll like have spray paint like don't come in, like squatting and taking homes. Yeah, scary stuff.
Yeah. I get this question all the time. It's what are our forms of lead gen and what do we think, and or like what are the best forms of lead gen? And I'm gonna go first on this one. because I want to hear your answer authentically. So personally, my business is on the foundation of cold calling, genuine cold calling from zip codes that are literally cool, that have a high conversion rate, and or a recent listing, and or an open house. Like if there's a reason to call the zip code, I will. But if there's no reason, then I'll just be like, hey, I have buyers who are interested in the zip code. I'm just curious if you're looking to move in the near future and would consider selling, and then whatever, it goes from there. My business is primarily cold calls, and then I would say some social media, and then I like to do a lot of open houses as well. Yeah.
So my favorite form is social media. I use TikTok and Instagram forms of posting videos to get engagements, to engage with people who then will talk about buying, selling, or investing in real estate, and or messaging people through social media. I do cold call as well. I probably cold call about once or twice a week. I either do just regular off-putting sheets off of Google resources, or I use Mojo, which I know you use that dialer as well. I do that a lot for my investors, and then just calling your sphere, like handwritten notes and calling people is so much more genuine than text, and people don't like get that as often these days. Not that text doesn't work, because I do that as well, but just sometimes picking up the phone and just calling someone to see how they're doing, like the care call, is a great way to remind them that you're there. And when you ask someone, like the Ford method in Keller Williams, asking someone about their family, occupation, recreation, and then industry, I think that's the whole thing. You know, they're gonna instantly say, when you're asking them questions, it's like the if I would you rule. Like you ask them like about themselves, they're gonna ask you that. So they're gonna ask you what you're doing with real estate or whatever, how's work, and that's how you open up that conversation, and it always goes well for me. And then also just going to events is a great lead generator.
I forgot that I feel like it's very.
So I have this thing on the back of my phone where people can tap this and get my contact, and I've used that out so many times and engaged with people about real estate. That's my favorite thing, like getting in front of people. I also door knock.
Yeah, I haven't door knocked recently because it's too hot in Vegas, but like when it's cooler, I door knock for sure.
I just did not yesterday, the day before.
Yeah.
And that's actually a thing that a lot of agents won't do.
Absolutely won't. Like,
so I like that I'm more comfortable to do it, because I feel like that I may potentially get a lesson that somebody else won't from not doing.
Our last question is, what is your truth about real estate? And boy, I have a lot to say, so I'm going to let you go first, because I will talk for hours.
So my truth is that I do love this career and this industry and this company, because it has changed my mindset on life and business-wise, and it has opened up so many doors for me, and I wouldn't change anything for the world. And yet, it's draining, and there's a lot of emotional and physical and mindset like hardships that you go through. You know, it's strictly commission-based job, and you deal with people who will take out their issues on you. It's a lot of you are becoming someone's person, because going through a real estate transaction, especially when it's not an investment, when it's a personal buying situation or selling, it's a lot of emotion, and you have to be able to be compassionate.
Yeah. And so it's stress.
It's definitely stressing about a commission-based job, and also, you know, as much as we are our own bosses and we make our own schedule, that is honestly worse than having a 9-to-5 sometimes, because we'll work more or we'll feel like we're not doing enough. So there's a lot of stress that comes with not having a good mindset, and that is so important to be successful and still love this industry. Because there's times where, to be honest, there's times where I am like really, like I struggle and I get upset, and sometimes I'm like, I don't know if this is for me, but I really don't think I can do anything else. And I really
So piggybacking off of that, I would say I agree, but I'm gonna be so much more blunt. There's literally some days where I'm like, I hate this career, I don't want to work, I'm gonna close how many deals that I need to close this year to just live, and then move on to something else, and that's it. Like I go through really fast periods of that, and it's really bad. I'll go through like 2 weeks of that straight, and I'll literally go to the office for maybe like an hour, make one contact, and be like, oh, I did fine, I made one contact today. And then there's times where I'm like, good morning, I'm like saying hi to my broker, I'm like, but I'm gonna get on the phones and I'm gonna make this amount of appointments today, and I do it within like an hour, because I'm just like so motivated. There's times where I'm like, I like have such a good wave. But for me, my biggest thing is I'm literally so cold or so hot, and I have not found that good balance. Like Joel was saying, you're your own boss, so I haven't found a good balance of like measuring how much I want to work, when I want to work. I used to block schedule, but I don't anymore, and I've like let myself go. Yeah, I know. And it impacts like, I'm not gonna say it doesn't impact my mental health a lot, but it just gives me so much stress and anxiety because someone's like, hey, you want to do this? And I'm like, sure, no problem. But then I'm like, I have to leave, I'll leave all these work instead of, why don't I just go to the office, get my stuff done, and then I can go have fun.
Time blocking. The two things for that I think would help you if you truly want to stay in this business. Because obviously, you don't have to do whatever you want to make you happy. But if you want to stay in this business and you want to eliminate that negative, I would say that going back to time blocking and making sure that even if you only time block and protect your time block for your weekend, everything else will fall into place.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, you are the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. So that will help a lot with your mindset and keeping that hot and cold from being realistic yourself.
Agreed. Yeah. But that's my truth. I love real estate though. I like you said I would not change it for the world.
Yeah.
But I get so frustrated with it sometimes. And I literally am like,
you need accountability and structure where you will fall apart. And it's easy to get spit out in this business.
No, it's so easy.
Most people do not make it out of year one, and then the majority don't make it out of year 5.
Because I don't know. I also think that everything that I go through in my hot and cold, I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm learning that through real estate industry for my future businesses.